Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're pulling on the Attuned Peony and Triandra banner. I am so thankful that they put this new unit type name in the title of the banner because I feel like I'm going to forget it at some point. I keep calling it the wrong thing, but I will do my best in this video. And I actually have a lot of thoughts about these new additions, but I think that we can talk about them as we pull, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I want to start out by saying that if I sound a little bit different, I'm recording this late at night after a very long day at work, and I'm also a little bit under the weather. I'm super congested, and so I kind of sound like a mess at this point, but I really did not want to wait to pull today, so that's why I sound just a little bit different. But in terms of plans for pulling for today, I really want to stick to reds and greens, although I very much enjoy Mycen as a character. I feel like he was actually a very good choice for a Shadows of Valentia banner, but this really doesn't truly feel like one, and maybe it's because it's like 50% fairies, but it really doesn't feel like a new hero SOV banner to me. And so while I like him, I'd love to get him in the future. I'm probably going to steer clear of most of the blues for today. But in terms of priorities for the banner, I feel like it's probably a tie between Triandra and Sonia, kind of for two different reasons. Triandra is my favorite Fae OC, and every form that we get in Fae I am going to want, and this new version is no exception. Like, I absolutely love her design. They did the most fantastic job on her art, and I think that she does bring some value with this new unit type. And when I first saw it, I thought that it would be like totally game-changing, but now that I've looked at all the details, I really don't know how impactful it's going to be. And especially with her and her skill that she brings, I don't know how strong it actually is going to be in practice, but she is my favorite. So I feel like we have to get her. But I also feel like we have to get a copy of Sonia, and part of it is because I very much enjoy her as a character. I think that this art is absolutely lovely, and she's going to be very, very strong. But I have to say the number one reason that I'm pulling for her for today is because of my spooky La Rochelle. Because I have been waiting for an arcane green tome for all of this time. This was like my number one wish outside of like a new staff. But this is what I was waiting for, and it's finally here. And so if we get to 40 with nothing, I have no idea what we're going to do. And then as for the final character on the banner, we have Peony, and I love Peony as a character. I think that she is so sweet, and I love this new design. But at the end of the day, I really want the other two just a little bit more, so she's a little bit lower on that priority list. But really, other than that, I feel like I don't have too much to say about the banner, and so let's go ahead and answer our viewer questions. And as always, if I don't get to yours, I'm so sorry. I'll try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. And so our first question today comes from Hamoud, and they ask, now that all the fairy alts have been revealed, what are your thoughts on them and who is your favorite? And also, what are your thoughts on Gnungagap? I cannot say that word. Oh my goodness, that is Marita. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, she is one of my favorite characters from Thracia, so I'm so happy with this. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus attack. Oh my goodness. That is so, so good. You know what, I am always happy to have merges for her, and getting back to this very lucky question from Hamoud, I think that I was still stumbling over that one. But I did want to talk about the fairies, and I have been so happy to see these alts get added to the game because Book 4 was truly my favorite book, and I think that every single design has been so beautifully detailed, and every fairy has brought something new and exciting to the game, so it's been a really welcome addition for me. And if I have to pick one as my favorite, easiest answer ever, I would choose Triandra because she is my favorite overall. And then as for your second question about the character whose name I cannot say, I do not like them at all. I think that design, it just does not fit with anything else from Book 4, and it's just so not for me, and so I really can't see myself pulling for that character unless they have like a skill for a character that I need. But thank you so much for that very lucky question. Okay, let's see if this is Mycen. Okay, 3-star. And we get a Robin. Okay, so let's go ahead and back out, and we can answer our next question. And this comes from Aura Mage, and they ask, who are your favorite characters from each of the Fae nations? Okay, so I'm going to do my best not to forget any of the nations because we have had a lot of them. But starting with Asker, I think that I would probably say that Alphonse is my favorite just because I think he's actually pretty well written for an OC. And then after that, I think that we would move to Emblem, and I think that I would say that my favorite is actually Veronica, and she's actually had a ton of growth for me and has really come a very long way, so I think that she would be my answer. And then as for the next nation, I guess that'd probably be Niffle, and Gunthra is my favorite. And then after that, we have Moosebell, and very, very easy answer, I would choose Legarn. She is my second favorite OC. I think she's very, very well written. And then after that, I think that it would be Hel, and I don't know if this actually counts, but I would say Ymir just because I love her design, I love her sweet personality, and even if she's not in like truly the realm that is from, that would be my answer. And then after that, we have the fairy world, and of course, Triandra is my favorite. Super easy answer. And then after that, I think that we're on to Nidavellir, and honestly, I think that was my least favorite world. I really did not like anybody from that particular nation. And then sort of similarly, we have Jotunheimer, which I do think is different, and I think that my answer would be Dagger, just because I think she's a super fun character. And then I think we're on to the last one. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. But now we have Vanaheimr, and my answer would be Hathor because I think that she has the absolute best design, and I love her as a character. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one, and this comes from Zord. And they ask, if the Brodia characters from the debut banner got seasonals, what kind would you like to see the most? Because I think Citrine giving gifts for a winter alt would be amazing. Oh my goodness. I really hope that Faye is listening because that is the most perfect alt for her. And so yes, I totally second that. I could totally see her doing that for a Christmas alt, and I would love to see it happen. But as for the other characters, on that banner we had Diamant, and honestly I would take anything that they gave me, but if I had my choice, I think that I would go with Summer. And then for Alchrist, I think that for some reason Halloween would fit him very, very well. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh my gosh, you know what? I love Tiki, so this is amazing. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus speed, but I will take that. That's a really, really good pull. And getting back to this very lucky question from Zord, I was saying that for Alchrist, I feel like Halloween for some reason would fit him very well. And then even though she was like not truly on the banner, I feel like I have to add Lapis in because she is a character that I love. And I would love to see her get some sort of like Easter Bunny alt. I feel like it would be great. But thank you so much, Zord, for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Giratina Light. And they ask, what do you think of the new Peach game? Holy smokes. Oh my gosh. You know what? I am so, so happy to see Peony. This is amazing. Let's check IVs. Oh my goodness, she is plus attack. Oh my gosh, that is so, so good. So you know what, we are just going to keep going. Hopefully she brings Sonia home with her. But getting back to this very lucky question from Giratina Light, they asked my thoughts on the new Peach game and if I am excited for it. So when I saw that Nintendo Direct, that was honestly the only thing that I was excited for, and I am honestly just so hyped to play it because I think the art style is absolutely beautiful. I love Peach as a character, and I think that it's going to be super fun, and so that's really the one game from that Direct that made me really excited. But thank you so much for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one, and this comes from Kokichi Grimleal. And they ask, what are your opinions on characters that are my favorites? And then I have a whole list. And how do you feel about Jingliu from Star Rail? So I think that I should answer the question about Jingliu first because it's kind of separate from the Fire Emblem characters. And so as for Jingliu, she may be my new favorite in that game because she is so much fun to use. I was lucky enough to get her. Oh my goodness, wow. You know what? I guess it's maybe like a Brave Unit kind of day, but I will take this. But let's check IVs. And he is plus res. I am so, so happy with that. And we will just keep going with this very lucky question. And I think that I was talking about Jing Liu and how she's quickly becoming one of my favorites. And I was lucky enough that when I pulled for her that I was able to get her light cone as well. And I don't know if that is what is making her so strong, but she is like so much stronger than the vast majority of my characters. And I've just had so much fun using her. So she's like been totally game changing and quickly becoming one of my favorites. And so yeah, that is my opinion on her. And then moving on to your question about all the Fire Emblem characters, I have a whole list. And so the first character on the list is Henry, and I really like Henry as a character. I think that he's super fun, totally stands out in the cast, and I love the whole cursey thing. So I would definitely put him in the like category. And then the next character on your list is Bernadetta, and I love Bernie. I think that she is such a precious character. I totally understand her want to just stay in her room and do crafts, and so yes, I love her as a character. And then after that, we have Ivy, and she is one of my favorite engaged characters, and I love everything about her. I think that she is so well written. I love her growth throughout the game. I love her design. I think that she's just a fantastic character all around. So excellent choice. And then after that, we have Grima, and he's honestly not one of my favorite villains, and it could be mostly due to Faye, just because we've had so many different types of Grimas, but not one of my favorite villains overall. And then after that, we have Berkut, and honestly, I am very mixed about Berkut because I think that he's very well written and he's very complex, and I really appreciate that in villains, but he also did like an unspeakable thing to Renea, which is unforgivable, and so that's kind of my opinion on him. And then after that, we have Attuned, and I like Attuned. I think that the ending is really nice if you get the good ending in Binding Blade, and she's had some nice alts in Fae, so I would put her in the like category. And then after that, we have Leon, and he is my favorite Fire Emblem villain. I adore him. I always want to see more alts of him in Fae. So excellent choice. And then after Leon, we have Elm, and he was honestly not one of my favorite characters. I just didn't like the design. I don't feel like he added too much to the story, so not one of my favorites. And then after that, we have Takumi, and sadly, he's not one of my favorites either. And lastly on the list, we have Alchrist, and he is one of my favorites. He was totally one of those Oh my goodness. I think that's Eldigan, but we'll check. Yes, that is Eldigan. He has just the most amazing art. And that's 40, but let's check IVs. And he is plus res. I am so happy with that. And so of course we have to pull the screen and just hope that it's a lucky Sonia. But getting back to this super lucky question, the last character was Alchrist, and he is one of my favorites. But thank you for that holy smokes, that's a lucky question. Oh my gosh. You know what, it may not be a focus, but I am happy with this. But let's check IVs. And she is plus attack. Oh my goodness. That is so good. And it's also a focus charge, so that's great too. And so now we can go ahead and do our spark, and I think for once in my life I'm going to follow my head instead of my heart, and I feel like it's just too much of a gamble with color sharing in green, so hopefully we can use that focus charge later for Triandra. But I'm a little bit sad that I can't see her sooner. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that we're able to get Sonia though. And we get the thing. Alright, so I think that I'm going to end things here for now so that this video is not 10 million years long, but I will definitely go back at some point for my favorite OC. But if you guys are pulling on this banner, I truly hope that you get everything that you are looking for and that all of your most wanted characters come home quickly. And I also want to say big thank you to everybody that submitted questions. I really can't make these videos without you, so thank you so much. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.